In the late 1970s, the Cold War rested on a razor's edge. A single covert nuclear test by a rogue nation could instantly destabilize the global balance of power. To prevent this, the United States built a watchdog. They deployed the Vela satellite network into orbit with one specific job: to constantly scan the Earth and catch anyone trying to detonate a weapon in secret. For years, the system worked exactly as designed, until September 22, 1979. High above a remote, empty stretch of the Indian Ocean, Vela Satellite 6911 recorded a sudden, blinding burst of light. Normally, a flash like that would be followed by immediate intelligence chatter, or a massive cloud of radioactive fallout. Instead, there was nothing. No nation claimed responsibility, and surveillance planes found zero trace of radiation in the air. The White House was now forced to determine if a new, undeclared nuclear power had just emerged in secret, or if their billion-dollar orbital watchdog had simply malfunctioned. The Vela satellites relied on a specialized sensor called a bang meter. This instrument measured light intensity to detect a highly specific mathematical signature, one that occurs exclusively during a nuclear reaction. The double flash. A nuclear fireball registers as a massive vertical spike. Milliseconds later, an expanding shockwave acts like a blackout curtain, causing a sharp drop. As it dissipates, the sensor catches the secondary thermal glow, spiking a second time to complete the pattern. For the analysts at the Air Force Technical Application Center, this waveform was an incredibly strong indicator of a nuclear event, though they still had to account for the possibility of an instrument error on a satellite years past its design life. The coordinates of the flash placed the event in a vast, empty expanse of the southern hemisphere, leaving only a handful of nations with the capability to operate there undetected. The focus landed on South Africa. In 1979, the apartheid government was globally isolated and deeply militarized. Intelligence reports already indicated they were actively pursuing a nuclear weapons program to guarantee their survival. Then there was Israel. They were widely assumed to possess a nuclear arsenal, but lacked the vast, empty territory required to safely test a weapon at home. Crucially, Israel and South Africa maintained a highly secretive military alliance. A joint Israeli-South African operation in the Indian Ocean was a scenario the administration found both technically plausible and diplomatically catastrophic. The satellite data was soon corroborated by the Naval Research Lab. Researchers detected long-range hydroacoustic waves echoing through the deep ocean, precisely matching the timing and location of the flash. Weeks later, an even stranger piece of evidence surfaced. Scientists discovered unusual levels of radioactive iodine in the thyroids of sheep grazing in Australia. They were directly in the atmospheric path downwind from the blast site. The scientific evidence was mounting, but President Jimmy Carter faced a dire political reality. Openly accusing Israel of a covert nuclear test would trigger mandatory sanctions and potentially collapse the fragile Camp David peace accords he had just negotiated. Needing an alternative explanation, the administration convened an independent panel of experts led by MIT's Jack Ruina. Their mandate was to determine if anything other than a bomb could have caused the signal. Despite the acoustic waves and the radioactive sheep, the panel delivered a finding that avoided a diplomatic crisis. They concluded the flash was a zoo event, a freak accident where tiny space debris struck the satellite's camera lens, scattering light into the sensor. By endorsing the zoo event theory, the White House provided a technical justification to avoid the legal and diplomatic triggers that a confirmed nuclear test would have set in motion. Today, independent experts and declassified intelligence roundly reject the micrometeorite theory as mathematically unlikely. Yet the official stance of the United States government remains exactly the same as it was in 1979. The incident highlights the tension that arises when physical evidence, like hydroacoustic signals and radioactive iodine, points toward a conclusion that the government is politically unable to acknowledge. We built an intricate global network to monitor the skies and hold nations accountable, but the flash in the Indian Ocean proved that even when the sensors work perfectly, those in power can simply choose to look away.